Welcome to Corporate Finance and Accounting Talent 2026 Study Results, a preview panel discussion brought to you by the Controllers Council. My name is Neil Brown, Executive Director of the Controllers Council. And before I introduce our partner sponsors and our moderator today, let me share some brief housekeeping items. This webinar is CPE eligible with 4 polling questions, so please answer each poll. If not CPE, we'll answer to benchmark your peers. Also regarding CPE, we'll have a quick survey at the end of the presentation, so please complete. And next, we'll have Q&A at the end of the presentation, so use your control panel to ask our experts questions. And finally, you'll receive a link to this webcast via email in the next 24 hours, so no need for notes or screenshots. And now a brief word about our partners and sponsors. Paystand is AR, AP, and payments automation. ANROC is sales tax platform and automation. Bill is AP automation and payments. And Insight Software is a leader in ERP reporting, FP&A, BI, analytics, and much more. Citron Cooperman is a top 15 CPA firm with tax assurance and digital services. And Avid Exchange is AP automation and payments. With that, I'm very pleased to introduce Lindy Antonelli, our board chair of the Controllers Council, CPA and CITP, and a retired partner of the technology practice at Armanino, a top 20 accounting and tech consulting firm. Lindy, welcome.
Hello. Thanks, Neil. On the agenda today, I will first share the study abstract and objectives. Then we'll get right into the results of this year's Corporate Finance and Accounting Talent Study, along with the 4 polling questions, as Neil said. Finally, we do want audience questions, so please participate. We'll have a lively Q&A session at the end.
All right, well, let's get right into it.
Great.
And go on camera.
Yeah. The purpose of the study was to identify how controllers, CFOs, and related executives are managing finance and accounting talent, along with such challenges as talent skill shortages, evolving work environments or models, rapidly changing economic, political, and technology environments, plus more. A national survey was conducted from May to June 2026, with more than 350 respondents participating across North America.
And I just wanted to add that this is a benchmark study, so we'll have some references to comparisons and trends over prior years.
Fantastic. Okay, this is our first polling question. Reminder, use your GoToWebinar control panel to answer the polls for CPE or to benchmark your peers.
Thank you for that. And I'm going to launch the poll. And the question is, what are your hiring plans for finance and accounting staff for the next 12 months? So please take a moment. On that, and note that all answers are confidential and anonymous. So yeah, take a few moments on that, if not CPE, to benchmark your peers. And as often is the case, these polling questions do immediately tie into, in this case, our survey questions and study results. So we'll give you just a few more moments and we'll take a peek. I'm making some notes here of for us to talk about. And let's go ahead and share the results. Wow, increase hiring 48% and maintain same levels 48%, a tie, and merely 4% reducing. So that is very interesting, and that's going to be an interesting tie-in with our first question. What are your hiring plans for finance and accounting in the next 12 months? And here we see a 4-year comparison. Lindy?
Yes, so we've done this talent study for 4 years now. And this year, our survey says hiring plans are 57% to maintain, 38 to increase, and only 4% decrease. So the 4% decrease ties to our polling question here. Our survey was lower on the increase by 38 to 48, what you all have said, and 57% maintaining, where our poll today said 48.
52 was today for maintaining. Yeah. So that's crazy how close they were together. But the other thing that we have here is this hiring index. And so the hiring index is uh, increases significant uh, and both indexes less the maintain. So this year was a significant jump at 134 over the last
Yeah.
2 years, which were 1819 and 118. And then 2023 was 135. So pretty much the same as 2023, which, as you recall, was either pandemic or post-pandemic.
It was, yeah, really post-pandemic. I would say we were coming out of it. So
Correct.
hiring went way up.
Yeah, so the
Um,
2026 index reinforces a couple of trends. First, there's those uh, accounting and CPA shortages that we've been talking about, but they seem to be taking hold. And then second, hiring and turnover is increasing with these shortages. And as mentioned, it's almost identical to the 2023 results.
mhm.
Which was pandemic, post-pandemic. So
Yeah, I love having 4 years of data. Now, not every question has 4 years because we've
correct.
evolved the questionnaire and the survey, but this was a really good index, and it gives a good prediction for next year.
Yes, agree. So let's take a look at our second question, and
Okay.
that. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll read it. Is your organization experiencing shortages for finance and accounting and or CPA talent?
Okay. In 2026, 47% minor shortages leads all. 38% no shortages and 15% significant shortages. And that
Mhm.
calculates a talent shortage index of 77%. And this compares to 2025, where 54% shortages leads all, compared to 35% minor shortages and 11% significant shortages. So that talent index was actually a surplus of 108%.
Yeah, Neil, I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. What's your perspective on the F&A shortages?
Yeah, so the shortages increased by 16 percentage points this year for no shortages at all decreased by 16 percentage points. That's kind of odd how that lined up. And then
Hmm.
the shortage index increased by 31 percentage points, which is huge. So again, as you mentioned, not all survey questions have 4 years. This is our second year of this question. So it'll be interesting to see next year, because if the shortages continue or get worse, we could be identifying a crisis.
Well, I mean, you've actually been interviewed by the AICPA and many other trade associations and organizations in this accounting industry, and it's the 5-year program on the CPA, It's people are, getting into other areas and maybe leaving the accounting field. And then how does AI play into all this as well? I think we're going to talk about that later.
Yeah, good point. All right, well, let's get to our next question. We're really uncovering some really big trends here in these first two questions, and now the third question, Lindy.
Okay, sure. Which F&A roles or skills are the most challenging to recruit for in your organization? Okay, so here's what our survey said. For the controller and assistant controller leads all. Now, this is the Controllers Council, and you created this, and I became the chair, 6 years ago now, to focus on the role of the controller in the organization, because it does play such a more valuable role than ever before. I've been working with, selling to, and partnering with controllers and CFOs for most of my 40-year career before I just retired. And the controller is works the hardest and is the not recognized as much as like a CFO. So it's pretty plain and simple to me why that's the hardest role to recruit for.